Hello, everyone. This promises to be a very intimate session again. Okay, when I saw Olivia, I was like, oh, we have a new person joining today because we might have some new members joining today from another cohort. I don't know yet. Like, for example, Betty, yes. Hi, Betty, this is how we start our contest. So please show us your face and do a dance. Maylin is also joining. Let's get into contest mood. Okay. So welcome, everyone. Super happy to have you here. Olivia, yes, I guess so. Maybe that's someone else's name that she's using today. Is that your alter ego, Hava? Is your like state's name?
I logged in with my mom's computer, so it says Olivia Letemplier, but it's still me. We're good.
That's fine. Okay, so welcome everyone. Welcome Betty and welcome Maylin. If you can switch your cameras on, that'll be fantastic. So I know some of you, but I would like everyone else to see your faces. Hi, Maylin. Lovely to see you. I'm not sure having a twin will be a fun thing, but okay. I'm just reading the messages and like letting people in and like looking at the flow at the same time. So we are here to talk about stakeholders. Hi, Betty. Okay, Jasmine, don't worry. We know how beautiful you are already, inside and outside. So it is fine. So let's talk about stakeholders. I received several messages during the week asking what is exactly a stakeholder. So I thought I will start today by briefly explaining it in other words. So stakeholder is basically anyone involved in your project. Hey, Mel is joining too. Anyone involved in your project one way or another. You can also think of them as your very first customers. I was trying to avoid saying that because people tend to freak out when they hear that, like, oh my God, the customers, how am I supposed to sell my products? How much am I supposed to ask for that? That is why you're doing a stakeholders journey. So you test it safely without stress or without too much or without that much stress. And you get in exchange a lot of feedback from them. So think of this experience as a beta group with which you can test everything that you have in your head, and they will be investing in your project with their time, which is the most valuable thing that we have as human beings. And in exchange, they get for free, money wise, the first trial of your product. So what do I mean with this, and what is very important that you keep in mind? Make this experience special for them. They need to live this journey knowing something new, being transformed one way or another, having achieved a particular goal that they may have. Whatever you are achieving with your project, they should have something of that by the end of the journey. Is this understood so far? Okay, I see a lot of people nodding. In my culture, this means yes. So cool, that's how I'm reading you. Okay. What else would I like to say? Okay, so I've also got questions saying things like, so I should just send them videos and say, hey, give me feedback on this. I mean, you could, but think of your own experience as a potential stakeholder. Imagine that you're investing your time to help someone else. And I mean, in exchange, you want to learn from them or to get something that will enhance you as a human being. And what that person is giving you is basically homework. Translation, don't do that to people. Okay. I've never been a fan of homework. Hi, and I am a teacher. I'm saying this. Like, I've never been a fan of homework. I believe that if you do something on your spare time, it has to be for your own benefit and from your own source of motivation. So make sure that whomever is joining your stakeholder journey receive that kind of treatment. The treatment that someone who's willing to invest their free time in you should be getting. Now, what should they be getting? Whatever you're offering with your project. And if you're like, oh my God, but my project is an app and I don't have an app, I have a drawing on a notebook and blah, blah, blah. Figure it out. Consider this, consider this the very first human prototype if you have not tried it with real people yet. And as always, should you have any question, drop me a line on Discord. And if I am not your mentor, drop a line to your mentor. Or drop me a line if you want. Like, I'm nice. Like, I will reply to you even if I'm not mentoring you. You can just text the question. You can send me a video, a Loom, wherever. I will answer. Okay. So that being said, what questions do you have about stakeholders so far? Mara is laughing a lot. Go, Ava.
On the Discord, so we sent our stakeholder videos to like you and stuff. Or like we put them in our channel. So you guys are gonna put together a form, right? Where like people can.
We did.
Oh, you did. When is that gonna be like sent out? And then are people gonna like reach out to
It
us?
has already.
Oh, okay. I didn't notice that. All right. So is it like, will it be like you telling us that they want to be stakeholders, or will they be reaching out to us personally?
I will be giving you their preferred way of you to contact them. That was a very complicated sentence. They will be saying how they want to be contacted, and I will be telling you that. That was a lot more clear, right? And I need to confess now that we are here, this is a secret. I've been nagging all of my 16s like, hi, I'm personally inviting you to be this person's stakeholder. Say yes. Look how awesome their project is. So all of you should be getting stakeholders from my 16-2 group because I've been a bit of a pain in the neck. But okay, so in exchange of my time providing you with stakeholders, like creating the form, uploading all of your videos to YouTube, creating a playlist, which is available there. I mean, it's open if you want to check it, etc. What I would like to ask you in exchange is that if you can think of someone from your life that would also like to be your stakeholder, call that person in. It does not need to be another fellow chauffeur. Anyone that you think could benefit from your project will do. Okay? I'm gonna ask the question again. Please notice the difference between do you have any question and what I am actually going to ask. What questions do you have? Okay, Mara.
When are we getting the contacts of our stakeholders? So when do we start making the groups and stuff?
Okay, I'm going to wait a little bit so people can start replying. I've been getting some responses already, but instead of, I prefer working in chunks. So later on in the week, in a couple of days, I will see how many responses did each of one get, and I will be like getting you their details. Personal tip, it helps a lot when you know the people you're working with. Okay, so ways of knowing the people you're working with. First, because most probably they will be your personas. That person you imagine, I'm gonna get mystical here, okay? That person you imagine is right now materializing in this plane of existence. for them to be your customer. Okay. Now, okay, it's not necessarily mystical. If you're creating something, thinking of someone, that someone is going to be attracted by it. That's logical. Okay. So most probably the people who feel attracted by your project will already be the person you have in mind. However, to make sure that the person you're directing your project at is exactly the customer that okay, I'm receiving like a lot of messages distracting me. It's exactly the person you're catering for. Ask questions to that person. Like drop them a friendly email or WhatsApp text like, hi, this is, add here your name. Thank you for being my stakeholder. Looking forward to getting from you. Tell me a little bit more about you. Not necessarily what made you interested in my project, because it's not about you. But let them express themselves. And that is something we are going to work a little bit more today. Like things like, what would make you feel comfortable enough to share personal information? So you want to create that kind of environment for your stakeholders so they share their information. With personal, I don't mean like, I don't know, their Instagram account or their phone number. I mean like what's really important to them, those things that you won't just tell people. I'm talking a lot. Who else has another question? Ella, go for it.
Yeah, I was wondering how long should the whole journey be? So I don't know, I was thinking 6 days, but I don't know if that's too short or too long.
I highly dislike having to give you this answer, but it depends. Okay, if 6 days is what your project needs, 6 days. Initially, what we suggest is that you do a 10-ish day long activity that ends in a live session. So perhaps 10 days of activities on WhatsApp and then a live session. But this is a suggestion because each of your projects is completely different. If you only need 6 days, because more will be like making people like leave you, then do 6 days. If what will work for your project is one-on-one consultations, because you're like a mentor to them, go for it. What works for you is, I don't know, 3 days of workshops. I don't know, one workshop every second day, Monday to Friday, I don't know. Go for it. If what works for you is an intensive scavenger hunt during a weekend, escape room style, online or offline, invite me. That sounds awesome. All right. Again, the the main requirement is that it happens with real humans. Do not use the Discord bots. Okay. Unless it's, I don't know, important for your project and you use bots, but like I hate saying this. Was this more or less clear? Okay, great. Shall we do activities for us to get into the mood of stakeholding? I just made up a verb. I love how you can do that with the English language. You get a random word and you make a verb out of it. That's great. Anyway, so let's go to Discord. Now that I think about that, Maylin and Betty, do you have access to our channel? Maybe not. Right. If you don't, which I think you don't, Betty and Maylin, please share your answers on the Zoom chat. Okay, because I didn't know beforehand that you were coming, so I could not give you permissions. And for the rest of you, the first question that I would like to ask you today is, when you first start using a product, what happens? What would you define as a good or bad customer experience? So please share on the Zoom chat or on Discord. I'll copy paste the question, both places. So it needs to be easily understood. You look at the comments, positive customer experience. If everything is clear and well explained. It being clear what you're signing up for. Not too many notifications. Yes, that's always important. Good customer experience, easy to understand. It needs to work first of all. Yes. That should come without saying. Has to be fun. I like that. Able to ask for help. Your life is easier or more fulfilling after. All of this is what you want your stakeholders to live with, okay? Like, just mention it. Good customer, easy to navigate. So here's the second question. What kinds of ways do you like to text or get to know people? What makes you want to share about yourselves? I'll share the question in both chats. That it gives you the opportunity to meet people in real life. Remember when we were talking about retention, community is one of the key ones. So, and that community to have similar aims, of course. When people are kind and open. When the other people is not perfect as well. Betty, I love that answer. So beautiful. So not too formal, not too strict. Yes, Maylin, I share that with you. You would like to get to know people in real life instead of video calls. Well, I mean, or on video calls so you can read their facial expressions. Getting to know more about them. Melo, I don't think you're boring online, but I appreciate that you prefer the face-to-face. And yeah, most of us are more open when in person. And the next question is, describe something that has been customized to you and help you. The algorithms. I was not thinking of that. I believe my algorithm is drunk though. Like it sometimes offers me suggestions that is like, why on earth do you think I'm interested in this? That's a very good example, Mara. Your facial routine. How do you feel after it being customized to you? Like you're not just like searching online for a facial routine, but it gave it to you.
Should I just say it here?
If you want, yeah, by all means.
So, like I had quite the problems, and otherwise when it's not customized to you, you keep on trying, you're searching, you're trying so much stuff, you're buying, you're throwing it away again, you're buying the next, you're throwing it away again. And if someone just really like takes the time to look at your needs, then the chances of it actually working for you are way higher. And yeah.
Perfect. And that summarizes perfectly well what we are trying to get with our products, starting with our stakeholders journey. How do you make your customers happy? You offer them something that's unique to them, you make them feel special, and that you know someone has taken the time to customize for you. It will more probably than not work for that. So another question to move us forward, what is one thing you want your stakeholders to know about you, and what do you want your stakeholders to learn about themselves? Mm-hmm. So wanting them to know that they are not going to be judged. It's so important, especially in your line of work, Ava. And that they learn more about their bodies and their minds. That no one can know everything about a topic. To learn kindness, that's so nice. Sharing their experiences. I know it's a hard question. I don't waste my time with easy questions. Come on. You said something very important, Mara. You want them to know that you are like them. So people seeing themselves reflected on you and your experience, that's how you generate trust. Super important when selling a product. Also, there is a lot of negativity around selling. It's like, oh, I want to sell you my product, blah, blah, blah. It should not be like that. This has to be a win-win situation. You're providing someone with a solution. In exchange, they thank you using money. So that is how you should see the transaction. It's not like, oh, you're helping them out of the kindness of your heart. I mean, you could, but this has to be a win-win situation. Otherwise, there should not be a deal. To find self-love and self-motivation, that's so fantastic. Okay, and let me check the other ones. They don't have to be afraid to share their thoughts. to welcome everyone from everywhere, want them to learn people, different people. You're all so nice. Like you make my job so much more enjoyable. Thank you all. So for this last question, I would love you to unmute yourself and answer out loud if you want. What would you define as a victory at the end of the stakeholders experience? I mean, if you feel like typing, go for it. But if you want to share out loud, please, by all means. Just unmute yourself. Yeah. I know you're super polite to each other. Come on, don't wait for me to give you permission.
So I'm gonna go now. I would want them to feel like they've gained friends, because that's what my business kind of is about, to find people that you can trust, that you can confess to. So yeah.
Lovely.
I think I want the people to feel like they've learned something that they can actually use in real life, and that makes, like, I don't know, their life easier, or at least, I don't know, widen their horizon. I don't know how to say it, but I think then I just won.
I want my stakeholder journey to be like mutually beneficial. So I want to learn from my stakeholders and I want them to learn from me. I want them to like feel empowered at the end of it. And I want to be able to like use their feedback to make everything like better for the next set of users. So yeah.
I want my stakeholders to feel like they can stick up for themselves if they ever feel like they're in times of conflict.
I want my stakeholders to just find peace in being themselves. Because I think it's nice being yourself. You just feel so free when you don't care what people think about you. It's just such an enjoyable thing. And it's so hard to do. It's so hard to do. But I feel once you found that, then you can do anything off that, because it comes with confidence too. So building on the confidence helps you lead to just being yourself in front of everybody, no matter how weird or crazy you are, but you can still just be yourself. I fall under the crazy, weird group, but I just, yeah, it's been a while, and I saw myself, even as I developed, how I would just always think about what people think about me if I had to do something. Now it's just so random. I can just do anything, and it would be so enjoyable. Like the other day in class, we were having English, and I sit in front, and I hear music playing from the other classroom, and I'm just over there dancing alone. And then my teacher looks at me like, I felt like he wanted to join in though. But you're like, no, it's okay. But that's what I want them to gain.
I feel like for me it would be if they like even stick around after like the official stakeholder time is over, just because that would show me that they're like interested in it and not just there because like they signed up for it and now they have to be here and then they get bored and then they just want to leave. But if I like manage to somehow keep the contact with them, I think that would be really amazing.
What I really like about all of your comments so far is that you are all like in common. What you have in common is that you are all aiming to help them live with more knowledge and feeling better about themselves. And also that you want this to be a reciprocation, that you don't want this to be like, oh, you're committed to this, so now you're trapped here. Okay. You want this to be more of a friendly exchange. And that is how one learns to sell oneself, like sell their products. You know, you're not selling your soul, you're selling your product, which is your soul, if you know what I mean. You put your soul into creating something that is amazing, that helps a lot of people, and then you exchange it for money, which is another type of energy. Okay. So that was amazing. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to send you to breakout rooms for like 5 minutes tops. Okay, and I would like you to very, very quickly design stakeholders experience, okay, like a beta tester group for Airbnb, but not Airbnb today. Imagine that it's 2007, so 14 years ago when Airbnb started, and you have to sell this idea of, yes, you can go spend time at random strangers' houses for money. And as you can see, how you sell the idea, the words that you use are very important, because you can describe it accurately in several ways, but some sound better than others. Okay, so imagine, like, pretend that it's 2007 and you are the founders of Airbnb. You have this awesome concept and need to try it out on people to see if it will work. You have 4 volunteers, all from different countries. You can talk to them one-on-one, pair them up, chat in a group, or do a Zoom live session with all of them. All of these options, several of them, whatever, but you can do whatever you want. That is legal. So how would you conduct this? You can get creative in any form to test that this idea works. So we know now that it works. But what do you think they have to do to test that the idea worked? I'm going to send you to a breakout room in 5 minutes. And then we will be very quickly sharing how would you do that. Okay? Are you ready? Yes, so sending you to rooms, creating now. I've been scaring myself all of these days with this new voice from Zoom saying recording started. It's like, oh, I was not paying attention. Okay. Welcome back, everyone. Okay, so who would like to share? How would you convince a group of 4 stakeholders that Airbnb is a good idea?
Well, when we were in our breakout room, we said that because Airbnb is like a website that links people with owners of a B&B, that all they'd have to do to kind of test their product is to make a prototype website and ask their potential customers if it's easy to use and understandable, because that's their main kind of goal with their website.
Okay, how?
So
How?
yes,
I want you to land it. You have a fantastic idea, now land it.
Oh, so how would they make the prototype website, you mean?
No, how would you do a stakeholder's journey?
Oh, okay. So we'd make a prototype website and we'd give it to a group of stakeholders. Then they get some time to flick through it, perhaps apply to some fake B&Bs that they'd want to go to if they were planning a vacation to a certain place. And then they get a questionnaire to ask what they liked about it, what they didn't like, and they could give improvements on that prototype website. Is that okay?
Let's hear from everyone.
Okay.
Ella, just unmute yourself.
Yeah, so we had like a totally different approach because we were thinking like trust is the most important thing if you like let someone in your house, I would say. So we were saying we want a Zoom call with those 4 people or those 4 stakeholders, and then we'd let everyone show their room because I don't know, sharing your private home is like really intimate, I think. And if you can share it with others, that's great. And then maybe you can even show what your favorite place is and everything. So you start building trust. And then we were thinking, because on Airbnb we looked it up, there's also like some people living together, looking for people who could live with them for like a longer time. So we were thinking, why not have like a cooking session together, because then you can basically see something about their like routines, how clean they are. You could actually help other people if they're not as advanced in cooking as you are, and then you just start building trust. And that's probably what gets in the way of people like renting out their homes to complete strangers. But if you actually see how nice everyone is, then you're probably more likely to let them do so. I hope I didn't forget anything, Mara and Marlene. Yeah.
Yeah, then for like a deeper bonding, we would do breakout rooms for like a few minutes, and we would talk about like daily routines and stuff that is important in our households.
There was another group.
Our group.
Yay.
Of our group. So what we ended up discussing in our group was that we'd have them communicate over a series of ways and have them ask questions and how we could help them, and that just allowing them into the house that which we'd be staying in. We'd have them allocated rooms, but if they wanted to, they could invite somebody if they were like scared to go alone, and they could come with that person. And to make sure that they felt safe, we could have security measures taken that they could feel safe. We could give out surveys to let them know on how we could help them, like what they like, their preferences, their dislikes, how them as a guest would like ask the host to help them out in the way that which they are staying. And you know how you get those people that you could ask them like their problem, like they come to you and tell you if they have a problem or anything. But not everybody is open-minded in that way to actually come to you and tell you if they have a problem. They actually want you to try and figure out that they have a problem. So in that way, you could always just be pushing on them, being like, are you okay? Is there anything we can help you? Is there anything we could improve on? Is there something you need, something you want? Just keep on pushing on them and just gaining them their trust in a way that they could become open with you so that you can host them in the best way as you can. So basically be like a servant in a way. That is the point we reached.
Right. I love how different all of your approaches were. So what I would love to hear now is, after hearing these three completely different approaches, which one will sound more appealing to you and why?
So do you mean if we were a stakeholder, which one would we prefer to? Okay. I would probably say Ella and Mara's, just because it seems a lot more user friendly. I would enjoy doing it. It's like a fun kind of fun activity to do. So
Who else would like to share their opinion?
I loved how like detailed molecule Melo's stakeholder journey was. Like you could really already know what exactly his plan afterwards is. And it was like really clear what he wanted from you, what he wanted to know. So that's yeah, I really love that about it.
Thank you. For me, I like all of them. I feel like if they had to connect, they could also all just make one perfect stakeholder, and it'll, that vast creation of ideas mixing together would be nice. It would be just a creation.
That's the beauty of collective intelligence, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I love exactly what you just said, because you put all of your inputs together, and that is a perfect stakeholders journey. You do need to get your stakeholders to interact with your prototype somehow. If you do it in a fun, engaging way that they could use to learn something even better, and then follow up and do a survey and make sure that they're feeling heard and secure, etc. And that is it. Now, I'm gonna share one of my teacher tips. How you ask questions is very important. I was showing one earlier. Instead of asking, hey, do you have any questions? In my experience as a teacher, if you ask that question like that, no one ever asks. Ever. If you are assuming, I mean, if you show them, I understand you are going to have questions, and instead you ask, what questions do you have? It's a lot more inviting. Okay, so make sure that if you ask a yes or no question, that's your intention, that what you need is a yes or no answer. Otherwise, try to ask with one of the 5 W's, like what, where, or how, the H. So what questions do you have? Where did you get lost in the explanation? How can I make it clearer to you? Those are a lot better questions if you want more information than anything that is just yes or no. Because most of the time, customers do not know what they want. Okay, or they won't be able to yet be verbal about it. If they are looking for a solution, a lot of times we don't know what the solution to our problem is. We are searching for something, And here we are offering a fantastic solution for a very cheap price with a fantastic follow-up afterwards and a very fun, engaging experience, which is a win-win situation. Okay, so everyone following so far? And I'm asking this in a yes or no question because I want to move forward to the next stage. So I need a fast answer. Okay, cool. This is also very important. Every time you do something with your stakeholders, make sure you know why you're doing that, even the questions that you ask. It takes practice, but it's not that difficult. So moving on, I want you all to find a piece of paper or something that acts as a piece of paper, because I'm going to ask you to fold it in half. So if you choose to write on a, on a Word document, create 2 columns. Perfect, Maylin. I see your piece of paper. Everyone seems to be ready to write, right? So on the left side, I don't know if you see this on the left, but this is my left hand. So on the left side of the piece of paper, I want you to write your dream features. How is the product going to look like in 5 years? Not right now, but in 5 years. And remember all of the retention techniques that we were discussing: customization, acknowledgement, community. I'll type it down for you here. Feature is very difficult to pronounce for a Spaniard. So it's not future, okay, it's feature. In case it was not clear. So your dream features, Features. Yeah, exactly, I know, I know. Have a couple more minutes for that. One more minute. Dream big. What will it have in its most perfect version? Go crazy, do magic. Remember that when I was born, the internet did not exist, and I am pretty young. Just FYI. Imagine how much life can change in 5 years. right? Whatever you wrote is perfect. Would you like to go into breakout rooms to ask for more feedback? Would you like to share it out loud here? All right, if you want to go to breakout rooms, do this. And if you want to share with everyone, do this. Okay, breakout rooms wins. I'll see you in like 5 minutes. Okay, let me mix you a little bit again. Different people this time. No, this is not different. Now it is. Go have fun. I'll see you in 5 minutes. I really love that the room had to kick you guys out for you to come back. That sounds like a very interesting conversation going on. Was it right?
It was very
Nice, nice, nice. So I'm gonna give you a couple of minutes again for on that piece of paper that you started writing on the right side this time, I want you to write the activities that you are thinking of performing with your stakeholders. Remember that I shared a couple of images with ideas, I think on Thursday it was. So everything you can think of, what activities are you gonna perform with your stakeholders? How is this going to be a win-win situation? Write it down on the right side of the page. A couple of minutes for that.
Sorry, Sylvia, could you please repeat? It was just breaking on my side.
Sure. Write down all of the activities you want to perform with your stakeholders.
Okay, thank you.
Anytime. Ten more seconds. Whatever you wrote is perfect. And I'm going to send you to breakout rooms to discuss the activities that you have in mind and check if they sound appealing for the other person. When listening to the people on your group, think about if you will enjoy that activity and why. Okay, if you think that that sounds too boring or too homework-like, express it so and say how could it be more engaging or more fun. And if you're looking forward to joining, become each other's stakeholders and make my job easier, okay? Are you ready for the rooms? Good, so starting them now. I'll see you in 5 minutes. Have fun.
Can you please send me mine again, please?
Sure. Okay, you are going to do not click on this yet, okay? Do not click on it. Now, click now. Wait. What happened?
I was on my own.
No, Melo was having problems joining. Now he's on his own.
No, I can go. I can join. I can join.
Okay, good, good, good. There we go. Welcome, Mailing. Welcome, Betty. How are you feeling with your stakeholders or about it?
I'm feeling excited. Yeah, I think. And it also is good to talk to Betty just to like see what she plans to do. Because yeah, now I have like more inspiration, I guess.
I heard amazing things about Betty, so I'm pretty sure that you did. Welcome, everyone. Again, I'm super happy that you all stayed the very last second. Right, I want you to grab that piece of paper that you have. I reckon that there will be some space in between one column and the other. Okay, so right in the middle. And if not, like find the space to write the answers of the questions I am about to read out loud. Are you ready to write? Yes? So, question number 1, and you'll have like 45 seconds tops to write the answer because you should know the answer to all of these already. What is your business solving for people? Go, write. Cinco, cuatro, tres, dos, uno. Okay, next question. How will every person be equipped for the world because of your company? How will every person be prepared, or have something to help with the world because of your company? Write down. Bost, lau, iru, bi, but. Next question. Okay, the answers you just wrote are the outcomes of your business. Now let's talk about the outcomes for stakeholders. So what exactly do you want them to learn about themselves? What exactly do you want your stakeholders to learn about themselves? Wu, shi, san, er, I. Right, next question. How do you want your stakeholders to bond with one another? How do you want your stakeholders to bond to one another? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the very last question. How do you want them to go out and behave in the world because of your business? How do you want them to go out and behave in the world because of your business? And the time is over now. Okay, so I've posted these questions, all of these questions, both on the chat on Zoom, which is this direction, but I think you see it here because of the mirror effect. I also posted, yeah, to me, you're all pointing the wrong direction, but whatever. So I also posted them on Discord in case you want to rethink about them later, because as we say, the first ones are the outcomes of your business and then the outcomes for stakeholders. So very quickly, I'm gonna send you to breakout rooms again. So with all of this in mind and the drafts for activities that you have been discussing already, how can you land all of these outcomes? How can you translate them into a stakeholder journey? Am I understood? Was that clear enough for you guys? Okay, thank you for moving your head like I was getting worried. Thanks. Now, let me check the groups a little bit more. New groups. I'll see you in 5 minutes. Betty, everything all right? Betty, can you see the invitation to the room? Hey, everything okay? I see you twice.
Oh no.
Let me assign you to a room. There you go.
Thank you.
Anytime. Have fun. I'm on mute. Anyone wanting more time? Right. Okay. I just want to be super respectful of your time. We are about to reach the limit of the 90 minutes the session should last. So if anyone has to leave, by all means, but if someone would like to stay for a little longer and do a bit of debrief, sharing the activities you have in mind and giving feedback to each other, I have some time. I'm happy to give it to you. So we can stay here for a little longer if you want and if you can. Anyone else has with them? So yeah, there are some people were having some problems because technology. So I was like moving you guys around, making sure that you were not lonely. So would everyone like to share how your experience was and what is like the top activity that you cannot wait to try on people?
Well, for me, my main activity that I can't wait to try on people is a kind of debate, a group debate where everyone has a question and they just talk about it, and they've got to find similarities in their viewpoint, even if they're completely different. They've got to find something they agree on rather than just debating it. There's like a goal to the debate, so they've got to find some sort of similarity.
And I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. So keep us all posted. I think we are all interested on it.
Thank you.
Who else would like to share?
So my main activity would probably also be the live, but I'm thinking about not doing it in the end, but more in the beginning, for people to get to know each other and do it in like a very loose form and chatting and just talking about books, movies, media, just things in common, and then pair them up in like a buddy system and start activities in that way in the course of like the week.
Lovely.
So I don't know, I think my main event is also the live session, but for me it makes sense to have it in the end because I don't know, project is not really about building a community where people support each other, but rather about like gaining knowledge, I think. So I would like them to gain a lot of knowledge and like gain experience over the 5, 6, 7, 8 days, and then in the end, with the experience they gained, I'd like them to like share what they've learned and maybe even look at the prototype and then see, oh no, now with the knowledge I have, that doesn't make any sense, so you should rather change it, so they can actually like use their knowledge and see how important it is and see how useful it is actually.
Awesome. Will anyone else like to share? Right. Thank you very much for being here today. Final housekeeping, please do send me a flow with your ideas. When I say a flow, do you know what I mean? Okay. So a flow will be like a list of the activities that are going to happen with a time. Like, for example, first, icebreaker, 3 minutes. Then journaling, this question, and this question, 1 minute each question. Then conversation in breakout rooms for 10 minutes, etc. And then with an explanation of at the end of this session, they will be able to, or something like that. The flow will be just a list in chronological order of all of the activities that will be happening, with the approximate time that is going to get you, and a list of the materials needed. with all of the questions thought out, etc., for prompts and all of that stuff. After doing that, you will appreciate your teachers a lot more, believe me. Like, oh, they actually have to think of all of this stuff beforehand. Okay, so send them to me as soon as possible. I'd say preferably before Wednesday, so by Tuesday tops, because you don't want to wait too long to start your activities. You're graduating in 2 weeks' time. Ah! I'm talking about the 15-3s, exactly 2 weeks' time for the 15-1s here. It will be in 2 weeks and 1 day. It's the first time we're having 3 cohorts at the same time, so we did not want to have all of them on the same day fighting for audiences. So long story short, send me your flows or however you want to call them as soon as possible so I can help you with feedback, etc. I, in return, will be sending you stakeholders' names and ways of contacting them as soon as I have them. And thank you very much for being here. I'll be posting some examples to help you brainstorm on Discord. And if anyone wants to stay for a little longer and ask questions, share activities, tell me how beautiful do I look, whatever you may want, you can stay. I have like until we are in different time zones, all of us. Like for 20-25 minutes, I could be here for you if you need me. But if you have to go, I'll be seeing you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Lovely to see you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Anytime. Bye.
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 Sorry, I was trying to.
You want to stay for 5 hours? I
No,
don't have
no.
5 hours, but
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I think I just wanted to update you on my idea of how I want to work with, the homophobic people. So, okay, this is the first that happened. I don't know if you know of. Do you have Instagram or do you know how it works?
Short answer is yes.
Okay.
Okay, 1 second. Let me do something. I'm gonna stop recording so this conversation does not go on YouTube, and then I will start recording again. Okay? Give me 1 second.
Okay. All right, no problem.